What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here with some more content for you guys. And today on this video, we are going to be looking at 6 Tottenham players who are fighting for their chance to play at the Euros this summer for their respective countries. There might be more than 6, actually.
Probably a few. The way things are going, might be a whole squad of players. But
Yeah.
I think these ones are kind of in the balance at the moment. There's touch and go whether they're going to go to the Euros. I think the last 3 games are very important for them.
Well, having a look on this list, there's definitely one guy on there that isn't anywhere near touch and go. It's definitely not going, in my opinion.
True, we'll get into that.
But let's get into it. And the first player we're going to be looking at is Sergio Reguilon.
So he having quite a few caps for Spain. I don't think he was involved in the last squad.
He was not, no.
He's up against Jordi Alba and Jose Gaia from Valencia, 2 very obviously great left backs. Jordi Alba has that number 1 slot kind of down pat at the moment. He's kind of battling Jose Gaia for that second spot, but Reguilon's been off the boil quite badly over the past couple of months. So whether he's played his way out of the squad remains to be seen, and it might be a very big last few games of the season for him.
Yeah, I mean, having said that, he's only had 5 caps for Spain, so he hasn't had that many.
But at the beginning of the season, he was like in the squad. He was pretty regular.
He got called up. He got called up and had a really good performance in a friendly. But I think they had a qualifier in that same week, and I think they played Gaia in the qualifier and him in the friendly. So I don't think he was ever like pushing the door down to be a full-out starter, but definitely to go.
I think the last couple of months has really hampered his progress in that respect. And I reckon at the beginning of the season, especially when he was called up, I reckon he had ambitions to go. And I reckon he'll be bitterly disappointed if he doesn't make it. But last 3 games of the season, if he does have I know he had a bad game against Leeds, but if he pulls his shit together for the last 3 games, maybe he'll make it there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame because he had such a strong start to his Tottenham career. And in the last 2-3 months, he's just gone completely off the boil. I mean, he doesn't know. He's forgotten how to defend. He's forgotten how to go forward.
You never know. And also an injury for Jose Gaia, and then he makes it, doesn't he?
Yeah, and it looks like he's struggling a bit with confidence, Reguilon, at the moment. So we'll have to see how this one plays out. But yeah, if he does have a strong to the end of his last 3 games of the season, you never know. But I can't see him displacing Jordi Alba or Jose Gaia.
Yeah, he's a good player, Guy. I've seen him play a few times, and he's really, really strong left back. And maybe one who might be looking for a big move this summer.
Maybe. Let's move on to number 2, and that is Tanguy Ndombele.
And he is up against a lot of other midfielders.
Moussa Sissoko.
Yeah, Moussa Sissoko being one of them. He should be ahead of him. Although, having said that, Deschamps is a massive fan of Sissoko, and he always picks him for some reason. But the list of players Ndombele is up against, you got Rabiot, Kante, Pogba, Camavinga from Rennes, Nzonzi, Tolisso, and Houssam Aouar from Lyon. So he has to probably beat at least 2 or 2 of them to the squad. I'm not sure. I think he was involved in the March squad for France. Was he not involved?
No, he didn't get called up.
He has been involved this season, though.
He has, but in the last one, he wasn't called up.
He wasn't called up. So, especially now with Mason, him being out of favour with Spurs at the moment, doesn't seem to be first name on the team sheet. Whether that's hurting his chances to go to the Euros, will have to remain to be seen. But he's definitely one fighting for the end of the season to get in that squad.
I think it will definitely hurt his chances. Definitely, this France squad, they can field like 3 or 4 squads of like world class talent. I mean, it's unbelievable. And a guy, when you're looking at a guy of Tanguy Ndombele's quality and saying you're going to leave him out, it just shows what quality they have there. France have got the best, in my opinion, the best players in world football by far.
He only has 7 caps. Yeah. But one of them being, it says one of them in 2021, so he must have been called up in the March one. When else would he have been playing in 2021? Was No, it's only one.
Oh, maybe he was then. I was under the impression that he wasn't, or maybe I'm thinking about Sissoko.
No, that's what it just says here. So I'm assuming he was. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
But all right. But yeah, so he needs a big end to the season as well if he's going to get a chance, because the quality is just so deep in the France squad. Whether he gets called up or not, we'll have to see.
Yeah. But let's move on to his compatriot in Moussa Sissoko.
Yeah, Moussa Sissoko as well. I mean, obviously he's up against the same people. He does have a bit more tactical flexibility, but his obviously big worry is for Spurs. When was the last time he started a game for Tottenham? It's been a long time. It's been a very long time since he started a game.
Did he start the cup final?
No, he came on, didn't he?
Yeah, he came on.
Came on. So he definitely hasn't started under Mason.
Yeah, Yeah, so in an interview in March, he says, I am missing the French national team because he wasn't called up on Ndombele. But anyway, Sissoko.
So maybe he wasn't called up, I don't know. So I don't know when that appearance was. It says one appearance in 2021.
Anyway.
28th of March, it says 21. I don't know.
Very strange.
Maybe he was called up last minute. Maybe he missed down for an injury. He got called up. But Sissoko's a big fan favourite. But not fan favourite. He's a big favourite of Deschamps, as I've said.
Yeah.
So will that lack of playing time sway him into not picking him potentially?
I don't know. I don't think so because he seems to be that France utility player. No matter what he does for club level, he always gets called up.
Yeah.
So I got a feeling he is going to get called up, Sissoko, regardless.
So do you think, despite what happens from now to the end of the season, he'll still be called up?
Yeah.
Because he hasn't played a lot of football.
He seems to
this year. Up until this year, he was playing a lot for us, and he was having a decent season. But since 2021's kicked in, he's been pretty poor.
Still gets called up for France, though. In March, he got called up.
So
I think Sissoko goes, in my opinion.
All right.
Next up, we're going to be looking at Eric Dier.
Yeah, so he's one that's definitely on the fringes.
He'll go.
You think he'll go? He's up against Connor Cody, Tyrone Mings, Harry Maguire, Michael Keane, John Stones, and potentially Joe Gomez if he's fit.
Didn't he get a start for England in March when he'd hadn't played for 5 or 6
games? He did, yeah. He came in and started. How many centre backs do you envisage England taking? Probably 4 because Kyle Walker can play there as well.
Yeah, so I think 4. So I think it's going to be the 2 starters. Well, Maguire might be injured now. He might be out the Euros.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
But let's say Maguire. Let's say
Maguire and Stones are for sure.
Fit. Let's say for argument's sake he is fit. Then them 2 for sure.
So it's between
Joe Gomez is injured, right?
Looks like he hasn't played for a while. I don't think he'll be fit for the Euros. So it's between Keane, Mings, Cody, and Dier.
I think they'll take.
I think 2 of those.
If it was up to me, I'd probably take Mings and Cody.
I think Mings I would take. Yeah, then it's between Cody, Dier, and Keane.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Dier comes third in that list. For me,
so.
I wouldn't take Dier if I was Southgate, but you just know that he's going to take him. You just know.
Well, for some reason, the last 2 tournaments, hasn't he?
For some reason, he just loves Eric Dier, Southgate. Yeah. For a similar reason, maybe that Deschamps loves Sissoko.
Yeah, potentially. But he did score that penalty against Colombia, and he scored a free kick, didn't he, in the Euros? So, well, maybe Southgate sees him as one of those trusted men that he brings along, and he also has more international experience than those other guys.
Well, let's just hope Southgate does not take the Tottenham job.
Yeah, we'll see. But let us know in the comments below, who do you think Dier will make the Euros? And he obviously, the last 3 games of the season, it looks like he's going to be starting all of them at this rate. So he has a chance to play into it.
In my opinion, Dier goes.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Dele Alli.
Now this one, he's only got a chance. Well, he doesn't really have a chance.
Dele has no chance.
But he has only because he's been starting the last few games for Spurs. So maybe, and what's his name? Southgate was at the Leeds match and he saw him play well. So whether he has a chance the last 3, if he smashes it these last 3 games, does he have any chance?
No.
He's up against Phil Foden, Mason Mount, Jesse Lingard, and Jack Grealish.
No chance whatsoever for Dele Alli to make the Euros. Not a chance in hell.
Well, the moment is Jesse Lingard making it.
He's ahead Dele Alli, that's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. So he's making it at the moment.
I don't know if Jesse Lingard's even making it.
I think with 26 people going, I think Southgate likes Lingard a lot.
He does like Lingard a lot, but still, you got players. Phil Foden gets in ahead of Lingard. Mason Mount gets in ahead of Lingard. Jack Grealish, if he's fit, gets in ahead.
Those 3 are definitely going.
Yeah,
it's a battle.
So there's one more out.
If there is a 4th spot there, Lingard's there at the moment. But let's say Lingard is anonymous for the next 3 games, and Dele has an unbelievable next 3 games. Is there a possibility he could go up in his estimations?
Not in my opinion. I think you can't just take into account the last 3 games of the season. You've got to take into account the whole season. And yes, Jesse Lingard didn't get his move until January, but since January until now, he's absolutely smashed it out. And you cannot put Dele Alli in there ahead of Jesse Lingard just because he had a good last 3 games of the season.
But maybe if you're talking about
games.
Yeah, but if you're talking about current form, and if Lingard doesn't perform in the next 3 games, he was pretty poor yesterday against Everton. He was pretty anonymous. And I know he's been on great form.
He's been so consistent, man, since he's been coming in.
If Dele, say, gets like I don't know, 3 or 4 goals in the next 3 games. I know it's unlikely, but
it's a big if there.
It's a massive if. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's a massive if. But maybe if, he's also a fan of Dele. He plays.
Dele needs to be able to last more than 60 minutes, first of all.
Yeah, true. And maybe he has to get rid of that hair as well, I think, as well.
I think the hair quite suits him. I quite like it.
On you?
Yeah, it grows on you. For me, Jesse Lingard all day long. Even if Dele Alli scores 4 goals in the last 3 games and Jesse Lingard gets no goals, I still pick Jesse.
All right, let us know in the comments below what you guys think. And last
but not least, Steven Bergwijn.
Yeah, so he's one this season who's really struggled, hasn't he, for Tottenham? Hasn't got a goal.
Up there with our top 5 XG, though.
He has. He's in our top 5 expected goals, surprisingly. That probably says more about who's around him than him himself. But he's up against Steven Berghuis, Stengs from, I think PSV he plays for, Ryan Babel, and Quincy Promes.
Where's Ryan Babel these days?
Ryan Babel is in Turkey, I believe. Somewhere in Turkey.
Oh, he's at Besiktas.
Is he at Besiktas? I think so, somewhere in Turkey. So I think, or was he Ajax? Or did he move back to Ajax?
Did he move back?
He moved somewhere, didn't I think, Ryan Babel? Or was he still in Turkey? I think he moved somewhere, I think. He's still in Turkey, in Galatasaray. There you go.
Okay.
So, but he's one that always seems to find his way back in the Dutch squad. But I think Bergwijn, he was called up last time in March, and he didn't get much game time. But he seems to be a guy who is a regular in the Dutch squad. And looking at those names, if he does find his way into the Tottenham team last 3 games of the season, maybe he has a good shot of going.
It's difficult because he's hardly played any football in the last 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Hardly kicked the ball.
He's made some substitute appearances since Mason's come in, but he found himself out of the squad a lot under Mourinho in his latter days.
Yeah. So
it's difficult in that sense. Quincy Promes from Ajax has been a fair regular. Steven Berghuis has been a regular in the Dutch team, so I think he has to go. Lucky for Bergwijn, Memphis Depay is more of a centre forward now than a winger, so he doesn't take one of those spots. But I think he still has a decent shot, and I think it will solidify his spot if he does get 1 or 2 starts in the last 3 games.
I think regardless of if he starts or not for us in the last 3 games, I think he'll go. I don't think there is enough options there for him not to go, in my opinion, especially if there's 26 spots.
Agreed. I think there's a good shot of him going. But I think those players are definitely fighting for their spots at this point.
All right, so those are the 6 players that are fighting for their spots for the Euros.
We didn't include Harry Winks because we just don't think he's fighting for it.
I don't know how you included Dele in there, but not Harry Winks.
Dele's broken into the team.
You're Mr. Harry Winks, and you're not even putting Harry Winks in it.
No, definitely not.
But look, there you have it. Those are the 6 players, in our opinion, that are fighting for their spots at the Euros. We spoke about Reguilon, Ndombele, Moussa Sissoko, Eric Dier, Dele Alli, and Steven Bergwijn. Leaving out Harry Winks there. Anyone else that we left out? Anyone else fighting for their places, you reckon?
Not really. I think those are the ones who are, because the other ones are really like Roden and Bale, who are definitely going. And then there's people like Højbjerg, he's definitely going. I think Denmark are there. Then Toby, he's definitely going. So no one else is really on balance. Not sure left or home or not.
All right. So there you have it. Let me know in the comment section below which of those 6 you think are going to the Euros. Let me know who you think is going to miss out on their respective squads. Let me know in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.